Nobody starts smoking thinking they'll become addicted. You think, I'm just doing this socially, or I can quit whatever I want, or I'm in control. But slowly, without you even noticing, cigarettes start controlling you. Your schedule, your decisions, your emotions, your life. And by the time you realize what's happened, you're trapped. So, in the next minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how smoking takes control of your life, step by step, so you can see the trap clearly and break free. So, let's get into it. Starts so innocently. Your first cigarette. Maybe you're at a party. Maybe you're curious. Maybe a friend offers you one. You think, why not? Just one. That first cigarette probably doesn't feel that great. It might make you dizzy or nauseous, but there's also something about it. The ritual, the rebellion, the social aspect. So you do it again and again, just occasionally, just when you're drinking, just when you're with certain friends. And at this point, you're still in control. You can go days, weeks without smoking and not think about it. You generally believe you can stop anytime, and you probably can at this stage. The addiction hasn't set in yet. But here's what's happening that you don't realize. Every time you smoke, nicotine is entering your brain and changing it. It's creating receptors. It's building pathways. It's setting the trap. You think you're just having fun. You think it's no big deal. But the addiction is already starting to form. This is the most dangerous phase because you don't see it happening. You think you're different. You think you won't get hooked like other people, but nobody thinks they'll get addicted, and almost everybody does. Then comes the shift. Smoking becomes a daily thing. Maybe it happens during a stressful period. You start smoking more to handle the stress, or maybe you just gradually increase without even noticing. Suddenly, you're smoking every day, multiple times a day. Then you're buying your own packs instead of buying cigarettes from friends. And this is where control starts slipping away. Now you need cigarettes, not just want them, need them. You start planning your day around smoking. You make sure you have cigarettes before you leave the house. You check how many you have left. You get anxious if you're running low. You start structuring your routine around cigarettes. Cigarette with morning coffee, cigarette with meat after meals, a cigarette on your drive, cigarettes during breaks at work. These moments become impossible without smoking. The cigarette isn't just a part of the routine, it becomes the reason for the routine. You tell yourself you're still in control, you could quit if you wanted to, you just don't want it right now. But deep down, you're starting to realize something has changed. You're not smoking because you want to anymore. You're smoking because you have to. The cigarettes are starting to control when you eat, when you take breaks, how you structure your day, but you're not fully aware of it yet. Now smoking becomes your emotional crutch. Stressed, smoke. Anxious, smoke. Angry, smoke. Sad, smoke. Celebrating, smoke. Every emotion gets paired with a cigarette. Cigarettes become your way of processing feelings, handling situations, coping with life. This is when the control gets really deep because now it's not just physical addiction, it's emotional and psychological. You genuinely believe you can't handle stress without cigarettes. You can't relax without them. You can't think clearly without them. You can't be social without them. Cigarettes have become your solution to everything. Your best friend, your therapist, your comfort, and this belief controls your decision. You avoid situations where you can't smoke. You leave events early so you can smoke. You turn down opportunities because smoking won't be allowed. You choose where to go based on whether you can smoke there. Your life is being shaped by cigarettes, not by what you actually want, but by what your addiction demands. You might even choose jobs based on whether you can take smoke or breaks or avoid certain relationships because the person doesn't like smoking. Every major decision in your life now has to factor in cigarettes. That's not freedom, that's control. And the scary part is you've accepted it as normal. You don't even see it as control anymore. You just think, this is who I am, this is how I live. Let's talk about how smoking controls your money. At $15 a pack, if you smoke a pack a day, that's over $5,000 a year. Every year. But it's not just the money spent, it's how it controls your financial decisions. You're low on money, but you buy cigarettes before you buy food. You skip paying a bill, but you make sure you have cigarettes. You can't afford something you actually want, but you find money for cigarettes. Cigarettes become your top financial priority. Not by choice, but by necessity. You might cut back on other things, eat cheaper food, skip activities with friends, not buy things you need. Also, you can afford cigarettes, and you justify it. It's not that expensive, or I need them, or I'll cut back on something else. But the reality is, cigarettes are draining your finances, and you can't stop because the addiction won't let you. This is financial control. You're not deciding how to spend your money based on what's important to you. Cigarettes are deciding for you. And think about the opportunity cost. All that money could be building a savings account, going toward a vacation, investing in your future. Instead, it's literally going up in smoke. Now let's talk about physical control. You can't go a few hours without smoking before you start feeling uncomfortable, anxious, irritable, unfocused. Your body has become dependent. Cigarettes control how you feel physically throughout the day. You wake up and immediately need a cigarette. You can't have a meal without smoking after. You can't drive without smoking. You can't concentrate without smoking. Your body is being controlled by nicotine levels. When they drop, you feel bad. When you smoke, you feel normal temporarily. Then the cycle repeats. You might wake up in the middle of the night craving a cigarette. You might cut short activities you enjoy because you need to smoke. You might feel trapped in situations where you can't smoke. This is your body being controlled by a chemical. You're not free to just be. You have to constantly feed the addiction to feel okay. And it gets worse over time. You need more cigarettes. You need them more frequently. The control gets tighter. You also start experiencing health problems, shortness of breath, chronic cough, low energy, but you can't quit because the addiction is too strong. So now cigarettes are not only controlling your daily physical state, they're also controlling your long-term health, and you feel powerless to stop it. This is the trap. Cigarettes slowly take control of your schedule, your emotions, your money, and your body. And once they have control, breaking free feels impossible. But it's not impossible. In my 14-day program, I show you exactly how to take back control and break free for good. If you're tired of being controlled by cigarettes, book a free call with me. The link is in the description below. Let's get you back in control of your life. Here's the final and deepest level of control, your identity. You stop seeing yourself as a person who smokes. You start seeing yourself as a smoker. It becomes who you are. When you introduce yourself, it might not be out loud, but in your head you think, I'm a smoker. It's part of your identity. This controls how you see yourself and what you believe is possible for you. You think, I'm just not the type of person who can quit, or I've always been a smoker, or this is just who I am. This identity becomes a self fulfilling prophecy, because if you see yourself as a smoker, you'll keep smoking. You're just being consistent with who you think you are. And this is the hardest control to break, because changing behavior is one thing, changing identity is another. But here's the truth. You're not a smoker. You're a person who got addicted to smoking. There's a difference. Before you smoked, you were you. The real you doesn't need cigarettes. The real you is under there, waiting to be free. But as long as your identity is tied to smoking, the cigarettes control who you think you are. And that's the deepest level of control possible. Breaking free means reclaiming your identity, remembering who you were before cigarettes, becoming who you actually are without them. So now you see how smoking slowly takes control. It starts with one cigarette, then it becomes a daily habit, then an emotional crutch, then it controls your money, your body, and finally your identity. But here's the good news. What was taken slowly can be reclaimed quickly. You can take back control. So click the link in the description, book your call, and let's start taking your life back from cigarettes. Subscribe for more truth about smoking, and thanks for watching. You've got this.